Hello, cryptocurrency traders, investors, people interested in these kind of projects. We're looking at our next Friday fundamental analysis token today, and this is a slightly obscure one. Okay, I wanted to just do a video on this because it's a little bit different. It does fall into the same ecosystem of some projects I've mentioned in the past. And yeah, the chart, nothing I can really say about the chart. It's still very early stages, but this is what I like to see. Okay, if I'm looking for a project to take a longer term investment position in, then I would like to see a chart that's just going sideways. And that's basically what we've got here. So first of all, I'll just say quickly, I'd like to see this project go below $2, go down to about $1 on here before I'm really interested in getting a big position. But I've started just to chip in and add small amounts as price is coming down. But really, this is something for me to get interested in when it does reach kind of these levels down here. And then at that point, we'll see how this goes. So maybe a little bit early, but I wanted to release a video on this just before it gets there, or in case it does just have a reversal, and at least I've got a video out there if it does that. So this project is called DIMITRA. Okay, so it's a bit weird, right? It's a farming based blockchain cryptocurrency project, which I know nothing about farming. I have no interest in farming. I'm sure anyone watching this video is probably like, what? There's so many more exciting things than you could talk about within the crypto space. And like, of all the things to talk about, farming is like the bottom of that list. But just hear me out, okay? This is one of those that I just kind of think it could be quite cool. And I'm going to go over my reasons why in just a moment. So first of all, the farming industry itself. So there are 600 million farms in the world. Okay, they employ over 3 billion people, and it has a total kind of value of, it's a $2.4 billion industry. Okay, so that's a huge industry. Everyone in the world needs to eat. And if you're thinking of areas in which blockchain technology could make an impact, something like farming that literally everybody in the world is involved in some way, whether you're eating a farmer's produce or whether you're supplying the stuff or whether you're farming the stuff, growing the stuff, you're there in development of crops, you're raising cattle, whatever it is, everyone in the world is involved in this industry in some way. Myself, I just eat food, okay? But I'm still involved in that industry because there's a whole supply chain that enables me to get to that food. So it's a huge industry. Okay, and within that sector, you have mega farms, which is where a lot of the supermarket food and things come from, but that represents about 5% of the world's farms. They are farms that have huge infrastructure. They're using technology from Microsoft, from IBM, incredibly expensive technology, hundreds of acres of land, really good infrastructure in the UK and the USA and Western Europe, broadband connected and things like that, so they don't really need a lot of this technology because the infrastructure is already there for them. Okay, farming industry has a lot of technology behind it, but it's incredibly expensive. So then below that, what you have is 70% of the world's produce is created by the remaining 95% of farms, which are all just small farmers, okay? People that live in remote parts of the world in developing countries that do not have access to massive infrastructure. They do not have access to broadband internet. They do not have access to the technology that we do over in the West. Okay, and what are they based on? They'll be using their mobile phones, they'll be using pen and paper in order to do their farming. Okay, so what this project aims to do is it's really aiming at those small holder farmers, okay, in order to increase their productivity, in order to give them access to technology that some of these bigger companies have, without the cost and the infrastructure that is needed to do that. Okay, so every smallholder farmer, regardless of economic status, should be able to benefit from simple, beautiful, and useful technology. Because when the farmers thrive, economies thrive. Okay, and you can see some information here on their website. This is DIMITRA.io. Some of the stuff that they offer. Okay, so you can register your farm, you can have geofences within your farm, you can track your crop inputs, fertilizer, seed inputs, crop yield, you can track the value of your livestock, you can track your births, vaccinations, illnesses, all within this one app that they do supply. And this app is live and it is currently working. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that this app can offer to these smallholder farmers. Okay, so yeah, the platform itself, mobile based, it already has customers in over 60 countries. It has 18 million farmers currently using the app, and really it doesn't really have any competition. Okay, it's one of those very obscure projects that it's being used already, and it doesn't really have that kind of competition unless you're thinking Microsoft, IBM systems that the big farmers use. So that in itself does make it interesting to me. So again, we can have a little bit more of a look about the project. So click on about here, it gives you a whole load of information. The website's got loads of words on it. It's not one of those that's very interesting to look at, but would you really expect that from a farming project? It's doesn't need to be interesting, it's just being used. So yeah, we're now in 60 countries, continuing to grow globally. Here's some members of the team. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked much into this because again, it's not that kind of project. Okay, you're not looking for people with a massive tech background with huge investment. You're just looking at this as something that's being used within an industry that's worldwide, and there's a certain amount of interest for me in that. Okay, so yeah, here's a bit more information about the token itself. So Dimitra's blockchain-based connected farmer platform is available to farmers across the world. The platform integrates a series of advanced technologies that provide farmers with actionable data that fundamentally improves their operations across several financial and sustainability metrics. Think of the Dimitra platform as a global operating system for agtech, where the DMTR token provides a catalyst that drives the ever-expanding connected farmer ecosystem. Okay, so we have I'll go over the current market cap of this at the moment, but we've just got into this month. We're in this like month 4 of this now, so this was the initial kind of fundraising, where it did end up with a market cap of 27 million and a circulating supply of 2.29%. Now that's an incredibly low circulating supply, so that does bring about issues with the total market cap of where this would be. You're looking at this as being a multi-billion-dollar industry, which it probably isn't, but this isn't what we're really looking for. Okay, we're looking for something much more short-term that's going to be a fundraising thing for them and a way to make money for us, and then get out of it, because it probably won't do that again. Okay, so yeah, you can look at the white paper. Very boring read, I'd expect. I haven't looked at it myself, but this does give you some information on the tokenomics. Okay, so it's an ERC20 token. It has all your usual stuff. It has token distribution. Okay, so you're looking at how many here. 1.3% sold to public, 20% to the team, advisors, and founders. Now that's a bit of a red flag here, because this does say to me they're probably using it to make some money and to then help to make more money themselves and make more money for the company. But from an investment perspective, I don't mind that. Okay, because I'm looking to get in on this first wave and then out of it and never touch the thing again. Staking and rewards. Okay, so you can get a good yield from staking it, and this is something I am interested in doing it. DMAS, which I'm going to go into some detail in a minute, dynamic multi-asset staking. So you may have heard me talk about this on the Cirrus video last week using the Zen exchange. Very exciting, and it's within that ecosystem, which is why I wanted to get that video out here again. So I'm just covering that ecosystem. Farmer rewards, ecosystem fund, blah 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, that's about that on the tokenomics. Market cap listing, it had a 9 million market cap when it launched. It was now sat at 27 million market cap. I think we're now at 22 million, but we'll just take a look at that in just a second. Nothing really else on here. Okay, this tells you just about the staking that you can get within the app, and that's about it. Okay, so let's just go into the actual coin market cap valuation. Okay, so we can see here it's currently ranked 2,947 on coin market cap with a market cap of $22 million. Now that's incredibly low. Okay, however, max supply of 1 billion would put it at a fully diluted market cap of a ridiculous 2.7 billion dollars, which is never going to happen with a project like this. I'd be amazed if it does, but that's not why I'm looking at it. Okay, so these are the little red flags for me. Is first of all, token utility is probably going to be quite low. Okay, it's not going to have the staying power that, of course, big projects like, I don't know, Ethereum, Link, Doge, whatever you want to say within these like top 100, top 10 market caps. It's not going to be something that's staying there for a long period of time. But we've seen projects like this make huge returns before, and this is something that I do think can make huge returns at some point once, and then you let it go and you move on to the next thing. So the token does have a community aspect, but it's unlikely to make big gains, of course, for that community after you get that markup. So I do believe that at some point the token will stabilize, it'll be used within the app, it will be used for that farmer reward, and it will go back into that kind of way of doing things. With that 20% for the founders, I do believe that this is being used to raise funds, and then they can develop more into a normal company. They can expand out globally. They could become a competitor to major players, your IBMs, your Microsoft, and all those kind of things within that sector. But this is a seed funding phase that I do think it is going into for them, and they're at the very early stages of this. So anything that is made from this, they will probably sell their tokens, dump their tokens on the market, and be able to grow the company as a result. So that in itself makes it a risky investment. Will it capture the market's imagination? I don't know, but I've seen projects like this in the past, and I'm going to go over a couple of examples of where I think, based on what has happened previously, where this has a very reasonable expectation for it to go to. Okay, and because of its obscure nature, I would expect this only to happen if we do go into phase 2 of a bull run, and it would be towards the end of that phase 2 bull run. So the reason I'm posting this now is token's very stable. Okay, I'd like to see it go down here, but if Bitcoin goes on a bull run, this token is likely to follow it until the point where it does get some marketing behind it, until the point where it does get some interest behind it. So it's a good opportunity now, possibly, to get in on this before we do see a run that it might have later on in the market cycle. So let's have a look at a few competitors. Okay, there aren't really any, but there are a few things that came to mind that I do want to bring up. So the first one is Ambrosus. Okay, so this is another food-based supply chain project, I believe, but what we're looking at really is, this is 4 years ago. Okay, so this is 4 years ago. We haven't had a repeat of that within this bull market yet, but this got up to a total market cap of $230 million. Okay, that's a 10x from where DIMITRA is now. Similar projects, okay, one of those other things that it has one big move up, it has a markup, and then comes down. But that's 4 years ago, and it's 10 times where this was now. And think of the market cap as a whole, we're about 10x from where we were 4 years ago, like at least. So you can do the math and realize that there's probably a long way that this can go up if it does start to go on a run. Another one that came to mind was Power Ledger. Okay, so this is in the energy sector. This reached a market cap of $650 million back in 2018, okay, towards the end of the last bull run. Again, an obscure project, one that I got in very early on, back in 2017, did very well, okay? But since then, it's just gone back into, okay, now we develop the company, dump the tokens onto the market, develop the company. And that's why you do want to get out of this when you do have those big moves. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was, okay, there was a big, like, this is farming. Maybe the closest thing we can think about coins that have had big runs in the past is the cannabis industry. So you've got hemp coin here, which had a total market cap up at the tops of 160 million. So Dimitra's way, way, way below any of that. But those are those kind of market caps where you could expect to see this go. I wouldn't be surprised to see it reach $1 billion market cap at some point during the bull run. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I think it's within an ecosystem that has a lot of hype behind it. So it's within that ZCX Zen ecosystem. It will have dynamic multi-asset staking on it, which means you can stake the ZCX token in order to receive these tokens. You can get quite a good yield off of that. And yeah, I think it's one of those that could have a big community push behind it in order to really increase price. Okay, so a little bit more just on this before I wrap this up. I know I've just been talking for a lot of time about this, but so the reason I want to get this out again now is that on the 18th of October, Unizen's DMAS, Dynamic Multi-Asset Staking, will be launched for public testing on mainnet. All ZCX holders can stake their tokens and receive multi-asset rewards. That will mean by staking ZCX, I've got ZCX, I think this is going to be huge in the second leg of this bull run. Absolutely massive. I don't think there's going to be many projects that can outpace or like what Unizen is going to be doing over the next few months, and I'm very, very bullish on the project. But that means by staking these tokens, I can receive DMTR, I can receive Cirrus, I can receive Whale Room, and I can receive some others that they're putting into this. Okay, so this is again why I want to get this video out, because this is happening very soon, and if you do want to be involved, it's a very good thing to get involved with, in my opinion. Okay, so this is an article on this. Unizen holders can immediately stake their tokens to receive DMAS rewards. Okay, so Cirrus, Dimitra, Hustle, Whale Room, and other ZenX acquired projects to be announced. So yeah, looks really cool. Again, I can post the link to this in the description below, and you can read up a bit more about this. But that's, yeah, I won't go into too much more on this here. What other tabs do I have? Anything else that I want to talk about? Oh yeah, only 388 holders of this token. Okay, so KuCoin holding most of the tokens, and Uniswap then holding some tokens here as well. So this is KuCoin and Uniswap, and then you've got Uniswap V2, which have some of the tokens here as well. So it's, yeah, barely anyone actually owns these tokens at the moment. So again, it's quite interesting to me to get into something at these early stages. These are the projects that I want to bring to the public, to make people aware of. It might not work, it might never come back, but this kind of thing, it's $2. If I put some money into it, it goes to zero. Don't really care, okay? Because the potential for this to do a 10x, to do a 100x is there. It has an interesting concept. It will need to have some smart marketing behind it in order to get people's attention, but it has an interesting concept. It's at an interesting price. It's not had a markup yet, so I'm fine with getting into this now. And yeah, I think the potential market caps for it are there. It's within the right ecosystem, and if everything goes well with it, then I do think we could be seeing this at, say, $20. I don't know. I'm not going to do projections on this, but it could go. We've seen the market caps of others, and we can take ideas from those. Okay. Yeah, that's about all I want to say. Thank you for watching. Do let me know what you think about this project, and yeah, of course, do your own research. No financial advice within this video, and do understand that I'm not saying this is going to pump, but I'm saying it seems interesting to me. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and yeah, that'll be it. Cheers, bye.